And the only place we're interested in right now is the Hawthorns. That's for Central Match Live.
Adverts, brewers of Tiger Best Bitter, sponsor Central Match Live.
The euphoria of Wembley, triumph in the playoffs and a ticket to the big time, or at least the foothills. The honeymoon of the First Division reached a climax with Albion's memorable win against their deadly Black Country rivals, Wolverhampton Wanderers. It really was great stuff. Since then, it's all gone sour. Only 2 wins in 10, the decline highlighted by the loss of a 2-goal lead against 10-man Bolton. And the newspaper headlines said it all when little non-league Halifax humbled them out of the FA Cup last Sunday. Frank Clark has had almost as many headaches as Birkinshaw in the hot seat at Forest, but he's found a possible route to salvation through Stan Collymore. The striker Brian Clough never quite signed. More's the pity. It's turning out to be £2 million plus, very well spent.
Oh, that's brilliant! Can he finish? He can!
So today's main event, live from the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion against Nottingham Forest. Hello, yes, there is life after San Marino, and who knows, we might even get through the show without a mention of Graham Taylor. Well, I've just blown that, but you know what I mean. Our Saturday feature is Leicester versus Oxford, which turned out to be one of the shock results of the season, all part of yesterday's story. And a change of face today, with Greavesy snowed in deepest Essex. We're delighted to have Big Ron as our studio guest. But let's first go to the Hawthorns, where Keith Birkinshaw has recruited 2 new players, Paul Marden from Birmingham and Paul Williams from Coventry this week, to shore up his leaking defence. The Albion manager is talking to Gary Newbon.
Keith, this match finds such a contrast to last time over here. I mean, the natives seem to be getting restless after the FA Cup disaster.
Yeah, that always happens. It doesn't matter which club you're at. If you have a major upset like we did at Halifax last week, then people get very disillusioned. What we've got to do today is to go out there and fight like hell, play the football that we know we can play, make it a real cup day atmosphere.
But obviously, from your point of view, signing 2 new defenders
Is going to be an important move to take you away from the bottom of the table.
Well, I haven't done it in a panic measure. I've been watching young Paul Marden 6 or 7 weeks now and been in touch with Birmingham. So I think that he's going to be a player that's going to be good for us. Obviously, Paul Williams is one that I've had to take in because we've got so many people injured and sick at the club that we needed an extra player there. And let's hope that it does the trick this afternoon.
Stuart, after the England disaster in midweek, are you pleased to be able to get into a game like this now?
Yeah, I think, well, disaster, we won 7-1, you know, so obviously I don't mind disasters when we win 7-1 every week, but it's the way it happened, and obviously going out the World Cup and whatever, it's good to get back sort of to the grassroots and play from the club again and get back on the pitch again.
We've seen some mixed performances in terms of results from Forest this season, but now they seem to be on a pretty good run, only 2 defeats in your last 10 matches, 11 matches.
Yeah, we've been a sort of bit iffy and starty actually all season really, and I think maybe that might be the same with a lot of teams in the league this year really.
It's been difficult for Frank Clark, but he seems to have settled into the job now. The players seem to be responding, and you seem as if you could finish with a decent run to the second half of the season.
Well, as I say, I think he's built up a squad now that he's quite happy with. Obviously there's people vying for places, which is always good at any club, and a few injuries we had at the start of the season seem to have cleared up, touch wood.
Fingers crossed. Well, let's take a look at our goal graph feature aimed at providing a guide to how the goals are likely to be scored this afternoon. Well, there's the first warning for Nottingham Forest. Look, West Bromwich Albion very dangerous in the air. A third of their goals have come from headers, and 3 more have come from inside the 6-yard box. They've only had 1 penalty all season, but 10 of their goals have come from inside the penalty area, and shots from outside the area too, including that one by Darren Bradley we remember so well, a total of 24. In contrast, Forest are happier on the ground than in the air, but it was ever thus. Although they're pretty nifty inside the 6-yard box. Look, 6 goals coming from there. Only 1 penalty, that was Stuart Pearce, of course, at Southend in the first game of the season. 7 of their goals coming from inside the penalty area. Only 1 direct free kick, that was by David Phillips, but look, they're very dangerous outside the area. 5 goals coming from long range. 1 own goal, bringing the total to 23. Ron, I think a lot's going to hinge, isn't it, on Bob Taylor of Forest and Stan Collymore, rival strikers. How would you compare and contrast them?
Well, I was just looking at that graph there, and I'm looking at the headers and the goals inside the 6-yard box Albion have scored.
Yeah.
And I would think the majority of Bob Taylor's have come from that area, because Bob Taylor's a player that's very reliant upon a service into the box. If they stick it in there, he never gets disappointed. He'll go in, he'll miss chances. I mean, he had a long barren spell without scoring, and he's now back on a roll. Conversely, Collymore can get you a goal from the halfway line. I mean, there can be no danger. He picks it up, turns, lightning quick, 2 good feet, very much an individualistic player, but can make goals out of nothing, and he's always a threat from the halfway line inwards.
You were interested in him at one time?
Yeah, I mean, Trevor's doing the commentary, isn't he? I mean, we actually had him lined up from Stafford Rangers before he went to Crystal Palace to go to Sheffield. And then at the last minute, Stevie Coppell nicked him from us. OK, well, we'll see how they develop. We're getting straight now to the Hawthorns, where our commentator, Alan Parry, joined by Trevor Francis.
And welcome to the Hawthorns, where the euphoria of last season's promotion has been replaced by the harsh reality of a losing streak, which has pushed West Brom perilously close to the bottom of the table. 8 defeats in their last 11 games, and a whole crop of injuries and suspensions have led to a massive reshuffle by Keith Bergenshaw, who makes no fewer than 6 changes from the team dumped out of the FA Cup a week ago by Halifax. Albion will play with 3 men in the centre of their defence to try and solve their poor goals against record, and 2 players make their debuts. Centre-back Paul Marden, who signed this week for £300,000 from Birmingham City, and left-back Paul Williams, who's joined on a 1-month loan from Coventry City. Nottingham Forest are mid-table when everyone really expected them to be challenging for immediate promotion. However, they've lost only twice in their last 10 League and Cup games. They too have been using a sweeper system this season, but today Frank Clark has picked the 5-man midfield, leaving top scorer Stan Collymore all on his own up front. Mark Crossley returns in goal, because Northern Ireland international Tommy Wright is at the bedside of his young son, who's seriously ill, and I'm sure all our thoughts are with him. Today's referee is Mr. Mike Peck from Kendal. A little curiosity out on the field today. In the Forest side, no fewer than 4 players who've recently represented countries in World Cup matches. Pearce of England, of course, Bohinen of Norway, Phillips of Wales, and Black of Northern Ireland. And as a sad postscript to the week's events, only the Norwegian will be playing in the United States next summer. A cold day here, as I'm sure it is all over the country, but I must say the Hawthorns pitch in marvellous condition. They've had the surface covered, and thanks to that, the pitch quite perfect. Nottingham Forest in red shirts and black shorts will get the match underway. It's the 101st meeting of these 2 clubs, And Forest's last win here was 10 years ago by 5 goals to 0. Somehow, I'm not sure we'll see that many goals today, with Forest only having 1 man in attack and Albion playing 3 centre-back. What do you make of those tactical nuances, Trevor Francis?
Well, I'll be very interested to see how it happens during the game, because obviously with West Brom having 3 in the back, it's quite unnecessary. Forest, of course, are just playing with Collymore up.
Yes, of course, Keith Birkinshaw wasn't aware of the Forest team selection before he made his own mind up about how to play. Albion have a free kick, and it's swung in quickly towards Strodder, who arrived on the edge of the penalty area. Little gets it away from the new fullback Williams, who battles to win it back for Albion. Now he's under pressure from Bohinen. Little's clearance wasn't a very good one. He's given it straight back to West Brom. And a good clear header by Chettle. Collymore under pressure straight away, and in fact reacts rather angrily with Mickey Mellon. Fiery little Scot in midfield for West Brom, and Collymore's temper often gets the better of him as well, as it did then. Collymore would have expected to have Lee Glover up front with him today, but he went down with flu only yesterday, and that necessitated the change. Here is Collymore, and that's a free kick against him.
Of course, Alan, Frank Clark had 1 or 2 other options open to him, because I see that Gary Bowes on the bench. He could have played up front, and once or twice Kingsley Black has played up front throughout his career.
Yes, Gary Bull, the cousin of Steve Bull, has been out all season with an injury and has only played 1 reserve game earlier this week, so possibly not fully fit, but he might be called into action later. Taylor's header, on by Reed and away by Pearce. First touch for Paul Marden. Hunt going up with Chettle, it breaks to Taylor, and he leaves it to Mellon, looking for Williams out on the left. This is Steve Stone, and that's a Nottingham Forest throw. Forest 13th in the table with 20 points from their 16 games. And West Bromwich Albion 21st, just 4 places off the bottom, 16 points from 15 matches. Good ball by Gemmell to Pearce. Roundly booed as ever on opponent's grounds. Won't bother the England man at all. He's had plenty of that in his career. Bohinen sliding it forward and got caught by a late challenge. Member of the Norway team, which reached the World Cup finals, of course, Lars Bohinen, and played for his country against Turkey. Scored, in fact, in their final qualifying match. 24 years, cost £450,000. This is only his 2nd game. Collymore with the header. Pearce trying to get in behind the defender and couldn't do so. Forest have the throw. Pearce again. That's good play by Kingsley Black. Really strong in possession. Now Gemmell. The header clear by Strodder. Picked up by Phillips. That's a good ball. Little on the right. Stone. And in the end, Forest's comfort on the ball, so to speak, let them down. They just played 1 pass too many and gave it away. But Albion have been unable to make the most of the opportunity. Pearce, Collymore, that's a poor layoff, Albion's throw.
Yes, although West Brom are playing with 3 at the back, it appears that the new signing, Paul Marden, has been asked to do a man-to-man marking job on Collymore. With this man on the ball here, Raven, just sweeping behind him.
Strodder in trouble. Bohinen takes it off him and slides it forward to Collymore. Danger here. What a superb finish. Stan Collymore does it again. Goal number 13 of the season for him. And they've come in 14 games. And that £2 million transfer fee is really looking good value.
Well, it's the central defender Strother, who lost possession quickly into the path of Collymore. Terrific speed, goes away from Marden. That's a good save from him. The rebound nicely in the back of the net on the volley.
Only 5 minutes gone, and Collymore showed such composure then. The first shot was well saved by Lang in the West Brom goal, but the way he coolly lobbed it back into the empty net was really something to behold. And Stan Collymore is proving to be one of the transfer successes of the season. 13 goals in 14 games, not bad, eh? And here he goes again, and he was surely fouled then by Marden. The referee has seen fit to allow play to go on, however. Well, that's the very last thing that West Bromwich Albion wanted with their dreadful run of form lately. Just 2 wins in their last 14 games. The crowd getting very anxious. There have been calls for the board to resign. And I think going a goal behind so early on here will make the players even more anxious than they were at the kick-off.
Yes, there's the ball played into the path of Collymore, and once he's away, there's no way anyone's going to catch him. It's a good save there from the keeper. That's a superb finish, coolly taken, touch of class.
And the first corner of the game for West Bromwich Albion. They're strong at set pieces, West Brom. Got some big lads like Raven. Strother's also come forward. Chettle got up higher than anyone though to get it clear. Mellon tried to play it back in, but straight against Bohinen. And the Norwegian is there again, challenged by Strother. Well, I said the pitch was in very good condition. It's getting appreciably colder by the minute here, and you can see it getting much firmer by the end of the match. Here's Mellon for West Brom. Good run forward by O'Regan, and he invites Williams to make the cross, and the fullback's done well to make the room. Taylor in the middle, and it was headed clear by Steve Chettle, and it's as well for Forest that he did. Bob Taylor was right behind him, finger on the trigger.
Outstanding bit of play here from Paul Williams, feints to cross it, goes around little. That's a good cross. Good defensive work there from Chettle.
Pearce with the back header, didn't quite know where that one was going, the Forest captain. It's gone behind for another corner. Donovan with the kick again. First one was accurate and had Forest in trouble for a moment. And that's not a bad one either. Strother getting up well with Raven, and the shot was well off target in the end by Mellon. Had to hit it first time with players charging at him. Collymore beaten to it this time by Marden, and turned forward by Strother. Back again from Chettle, and the ball in the air once more. Chettle underneath it. Reed looked at Taylor with the throw, flicked on by Taylor. Chettle sliced his clearance, and Albion make a little bit of ground down this right touchline. Mickey Reed, the former Manchester City and Blackburn player, experienced defender, won his place back at right back today, and finds Taylor with the throw, and the back header was dangerous. Pearce in trouble here. Cooper slices his clearance as well, and Forest were a bit fortunate to get away with that, I think. Strother cleaning things up nicely at the other end for Albion. Lang's kick is aimed at Hunt, who took it down well. Donovan, not a very good ball by him, and Ian O'Regan didn't really get the communication right between them. 10 minutes gone, West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 1 here. And a free kick to Forest for the foul on Stone by Paul Williams, who began his career at Leicester, his hometown club, though he never made the first team for them. Then he moved to Stockport before Coventry bought him, and now he's here on loan. Phil Neal saying it'll give him the opportunity for regular first-team football. This is Collymore. Took a double challenge and he's still not been dispossessed. Now Phillips. Well, he played an inviting ball back in, but no one in a Forest shirt seemed to anticipate it. Good little downward header then by Taylor to Mellon. It's a good run by Mellon, and a good ball too for Reed. Taylor's in the middle, and it was headed away by Chettle. Good break though by West Brom. And they have another corner. Strother the target here, headed away by Collymore and stabbed back in by Donovan. Mellon, Hunt, tame header really.
Yes, I think from that sort of distance, I think it'd been better trying to just nod the ball down to a teammate. Couldn't really expect to score from that sort of distance.
Cooper with a good firm header clear. Collymore on the halfway line. Played it in behind Kingsley Black. Now Pearce. Along the ground for Bohinen. Was well read though by O'Regan. And Marden just helps it back to his goalkeeper. He's only kept one clean sheet in the league so far, Tony Lang. Not all down to him, of course, but they've been very leaky, this Albion defence. Mind you, one thing you are guaranteed where West Brom are concerned is goals. They've averaged 4 goals a game here at the Hawthorns this season.
Yes, and just looking at their record, Alan, they don't lose too many games here either. They've only lost 1.
Good work then by Strother. Cooper. Little. And there was an offside. Steve Stone. Just getting back from the previous attack.
I do feel, however, that if they want to get back on level terms, they may have to change their tactics, because at the moment they've got 3 players, as we said, in the centre of that defence, just with Collymore there, and obviously they're hopelessly outnumbered in midfield.
Yes, these defenders at the back will have all the time in the world today to play the ball around between each other. It's what they make of it that counts, though. By Pearce. Sorry, Trevor?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, when you have too much time at the back, that's when you start making mistakes, and that was apparent with the first goal. It was Strother trying to bring the ball out of the defence, lost possession, because he probably had too much time on the ball.
Yes, that's a good point. Here's Williams, and the linesman flagged for offside at the early part of that attack.
The players with good technical skills, they want as much time as possible, but 1 or 2 of these defenders, they don't look as if they need time.
Is a good player on the ball, but he was dispossessed then by Bohinen. And the long ball forward finds Collymore again. That's a terrific ball by Collymore if it stays in, and Little's got the pace to get there and crosses dangerously towards Gemmell. Strotter's clearance onto the roof of the net, and a corner to Forest. But he really looks a handful every time the ball's played anywhere near him, Stan Collymore. I've seen him a lot this season. He's got better and better as the season has gone on. Kingsley Black with the corner. Goes in towards Cooper. Never quite reached him. It's another corner though. Pearce, an additional threat to the Albion defenders. Steve Stone lurking on the goal line. Cooper and Collymore, the big men that they'll try and pick out. And it's Cooper with a header. Yet to score his first goal as a Nottingham Forest player, Colin Cooper, who was Frank Clark's first signing. £1.5 million from Millwall. Quarter of an hour completed, and it's still Nottingham Forest leading West Brom by 1-0. Stone wins it back for Forest. Long ball by Strodder. Williams. Cooper's clearance, and Strodder gets it again. This is Raven now, who's playing with a plaster cast on his arm today. He's only just recovered from a broken arm, which has kept him out the last 8 games. Here's Reed. Poor ball then by Marden, and Albion, you have to say, are not looking a very cohesive unit at the moment. There's a nervousness and apprehension about their play. Forest looking a lot more confident. Strodder. Easy clearance for Little. Strodder heads it downwards. Cooper took it on the chest and finds Stone. Now Little, a long ball which Bohinen didn't bother to chase. Good footballer though, Lars Bohinen, very comfortable in the midfield there and good on the ball in classic Forest style. Long ball by Stone, which Collymore is prepared to chase. Strodder got there ahead of him. Hunt's header. Taylor did well on a good ball for Williams. Bohinen just got in his way and did the right thing. But they keep possession. Mellon. This is Reed. Strodder. Wasn't the best ball, but at least they've kept possession again, and Reed swings it in towards Donovan. And again, no real power or pace on the header by Kevin Donovan, who started the season in a flurry of goal-scoring activity. 4 goals in his first 3 games, but he's only managed a couple more since.
Yes, it was a good ball in from Reed. Probably the flick on would have been better there, because once again, what was he, 10, 12 yards from goal? Can't really expect to score from that sort of distance.
Collymore. Foul there on Bohinen by Donovan in the centre circle. The referee insistent that the free kick is taken from exactly the right place. Phillips gets it back from Cooper. Chettle alongside him. Tries to play it inside Reed for Kingsley Black, but just got the angle wrong. Lang's kicked straight onto Pearce's head. Reed now finding Taylor. This is Kingsley Black for Forest. Strodder gets it clear. And the ball's spending a lot of time in the air at the moment, and there's another aerial ball by Marden. No problem for Crossley. This is Little. It's a good ball. Bohinen. And the referee had a long look at that challenge on Stone and decided it was not worthy of a free kick. Cooper gets it to Black. On it goes towards Collymore. Marden gets there first, but he's got a bit too much power on that back pass. And judging by the way the goalkeeper ran for that, the ground obviously is frosting up at that end.
Well, Paul Marden's made a very, very edgy start, hasn't he, to his first game here for West Brom. Couldn't have asked for a stiffer task, playing against Collymore, trying to do a man-to-man on him. I would think at this moment that Collymore is probably the hottest player in the First Division.
Strangely enough, Marden's last game for Birmingham was against Collymore and Forest, and Forest won 3-0 that day at St Andrews. Not quite what was expected from the corner. And there's a strange lack of atmosphere about the Hawthorns at the moment, Trevor. It's a ground that does create a tremendous atmosphere, but the fans here seem undecided whether to be critical or just quiet at the moment.
Yes, just leave it there for 1 second. I do feel that West Brom have got to get back into this game pretty quickly, because the fans are just waiting, you sense, to turn against them. Obviously it's fresh in their minds, that exit from the Cup last week at Halifax. It's not the start they wanted. They're going to go behind. They must get back into it within a few minutes, because every time Forest come forward, they get the ball into Collymore, and he spreads panic into the West Brom defence.
Here's Steve Stone now for Forest. That's a good ball. Bohinen clear of his marker on the edge of the box. Slides it forward for Kingsley Black. Good defending by Reid. Little. Stone battling to try and keep possession. Certainly outnumbered by defenders, and doesn't get the corner he was expecting. It's a goal kick. Well, it's a day to wrap up well, but I suppose when your team's winning, you don't really notice the cold quite so much. Shettle with a good header, clear, finds Collymore. Marden goes with him, and Collymore's cross bounced horribly in front of goalkeeper Tony Lang then. Little gets it away to Bohinen, and the Norwegian gets the pass all wrong.
It appears that West Brom have made a slight adjustment. Paul Raven now has gone into midfield, just playing now with a 4 at the back.
It's a terrific long ball to Taylor. A good challenge on him by Cooper. Pearce hooks it clear under pressure. As Trevor was mentioning earlier, West Brom have only lost once here this season in 8 league matches. But away from home, they've lost 6 out of 7. And it's that away form that's got them in trouble near the bottom of the table. Although their home form's not looking too impressive either. They're 1 behind here. Collymore scoring early on for Nottingham Forest. Mellon for West Brom has given it away to Gebel. He finds Stone. Now Black. Long ball for Collymore, that's food and drink to him, he loves the ball played there. Collymore looking dangerous again. Magnificent! That is his 8th goal in the last 9 games, and I get the feeling he's not finished yet by any means.
Well, once again, a ball played into the space behind the West Brom defence. Collymore just strides away from the defence. Looks like he's going to shoot, comes inside, opens up the angle, and once again a cool finish into the corner of the net.
Well, Stan Collymore is hot at the moment, there's no doubt about that. He's probably the only man here who is hot on this freezing day, but he's in as good a form as any striker in the country, I would think. And he's given Forest a 2-0 lead here with only 24 minutes gone. What are Albion going to do about this? A nightmare scenario for them. Hunt. Williams out there with him. No room for the cross. But he's still got in behind Little. And then dispossessed. Stone gets it away. Bohinen loses out. Williams plays it in right-footed. Strothers up. Good header clear by Pearce. He had to be brave then, and that's one thing Stuart Pearce most definitely is, brave. And the referees whistled and saw a late challenge by Strodder on Phillips as he played the ball away. And Gary Strodder, the former West Ham defender, is going to be the first player in the game to be cautioned.
Yes, there was a touch of frustration there. It was Strodder that was caught hopelessly out of position when Colin Moore went free. Tried to get back to challenge Colin Moore, but he was treading water as Colin Moore went away from him.
Someone is urgently trying to leave the ground. These cars are blocking him in, and the security car park on the Birmingham road ends. And the owners of
So Forest free kick.
as soon as possible.
They lead here by 2-0. 25 minutes gone in the first half, and Collymore has scored them both. Black. Here he is again. Stan the man. Saw him play a few years ago for Stafford Rangers in the Vauxhall Conference, and he always had terrific pace in those days, and a lot of professional clubs looked at him. Crystal Palace in the end signed him. It's a good cross by him too, and it was very inviting for Stone and also for Gemmell in the box. Stone turns it back in again. Here's Little getting to the byline but runs out of space. Yes, Collymore was signed by Crystal Palace. Didn't really come off at Palace, rather surprisingly. They sold him on to Southend, where he scored 15 goals in 30 games last season. Then Forest spent £2 million. That's why. Is he a player you looked at all, Trevor?
Yes, I watched him last season once or twice. We actually played against Southend in the FA Cup at Hillsborough, and he caused us no end of problems. They played mostly on the counter-attack, as Collymore doing here today, and his pace was absolutely electric. And I followed it up. He went to Southend. Well, I went personally, watched him, but of course the price then went through the roof. At £1 million, I thought it was a decent buy. At £2 million, I thought it was too much. But the way he's playing at the moment, it looks worth every penny of it.
Yes, I'm sure a lot of Premiership managers would agree with that assessment. He looks good enough to score goals at any level. Gemmell gives it away to Marden, who does the same thing. And at the moment, West Bromwich Albion are all over the place. The system they started with has been modified since, and they still don't really look happy. They don't look like a team unit, you have to say. And they have had to make a lot of changes, as I was saying before the kick-off. But at the moment, there's no confidence about their play at all. Bohina now for Forest. Little. Phillips under pressure from Donovan, and was lost out to Williams, who's made a very good start to his debut, I must say. He looks very impressive on the ball. Donovan plays it back to O'Regan. Mellon finds some room in the middle. Hunt, good turn by him, and he's done well here, Hunt. Good effort! Would have been one of the most bizarre goals of the season if Crossley hadn't just managed to creep onto the ball as it seemed to be creeping over the line. What an amazing incident that was.
Well, it was great play from Hunt here. Good turn, just lose it, gets in a challenge, it comes back to him, and he smacks it with his left foot. It's a great strike, and luckily it's the post. I think Crossley just got a touch, and that's when your luck's in.
It's moments like that that make players, I think, on the other side think, this is not going to be our day, is it? That could so easily have been a goal. And Andy Hunt, who scored 8 this season, back to form in recent matches, with 4 goals in his last 5 games, was very close to another then. Deserved it, frankly. But here's the man who can make everything into goals, Collymore. With a persistence then about Albion, and they win play back. Reed knocks it long, too long, I think. Good header by Reed. Chappell can't go back to his goalkeeper here, and did the right thing.
It was a very unusual incident, wasn't it, Alan? I mean, how many times do you see a shot actually hit the same post twice?
That's right, yeah.
I wouldn't think it's ever happened before.
One for Mr. Coleman and that quiz programme of his.
I've seen a few times, you know, ball hit one post, go along hit the other post, but not the same post.
15 minutes to half-time, and the intervention of the woodwork then has kept Albion 2 goals behind, and here goes Collymore again. And that turned out to be a decent ball, but Williams read it brilliantly. Now he's overrun it. Phillips for Forest. Stone to his right, and he finds him. And it's a good break too. Dispossessed in the end by O'Regan. He's given it away to Phillips. Gets it back from Stone, knocks it in long and early. Headed away by Marden. Collymore was lurking right behind him as well. It's a very open game this. I think there'll be more goals in this. Strodder for West Brom, who are 2 behind. Finds Hunt. Donovan. It's a poor ball straight to Cooper. And Cooper's given it straight back to West Brom, and the players now slipping on this surface. It obviously is getting harder and harder and more difficult for them to keep their footing. Certainly West Brom looked after it very well overnight with that frost, but they can't do anything about covering it now, of course, and the frost is setting in early. This is Taylor. O'Regan on to Strodder. O'Regan again. Intercepted by Gemmell. Strodder wins it back and finds Taylor. Williams out there on the left, more like a left winger than a left back so far. Delivers it right-footed. Strodder wins the header. But Kingsley Black has the ball for Forest and finds Collymore. He's brilliant at doing that, absolutely brilliant, and that's a great ball as well. Bohinen. He has Gemmell up in support. And now Phillips. It wasn't a bad effort by Phillips. He's not an awful long way from midfield. But again, it was Collymore in the build-up to that attack who really impressed.
Yes, once again, he was at the heart of this move. That's a terrific pass from Collymore. Great vision. Played in behind. And really, every time they go forward, they look as if they're going to score at the moment, Forest, because they're getting players forward, like Phillips getting forward there to support Collymore, causing all sorts of problems. I would think that West Brom will be looking to change 1 or 2 things half-time in the interval.
Raven lifts the free kick. Goalwards. Cooper heads it away, only as far as Paul Williams. Made room for himself and finds O'Regan. This is Raven. And Mellon's found some room as well. And Gemmell closes down the space. And Mellon's got to go all the way back into his own half. That's good pressure from Nottingham Forest. The crowd booing Mickey Mellon, but I don't know what else he could have done. At least he kept possession. Hunt wins the header. Taylor battling away with Little and has done well. Good player, Bob Taylor. Dispossessed though by Little that time. Bohinen knocks it long, and Collymore didn't even bother with that one.
Yes, he is a good player, and I feel slightly sorry for him at the moment because he does need a service from wide areas. And West Brom really are relying on Williams on this left-hand side here, who's in possession of the ball at the moment.
Little tries to mark him, and he gets the ball in right-footed. It's a good-looking one over Pearce's head. Reed turns it back in, and Gemmell hooks it away from the penalty spot. Mellon forward then by Strodder. This is better from West Brom. The crowd are getting behind them now. Williams is having an outstanding half here, and again gets the ball into the danger area. Phillips cleaned up nicely for Forest. But Paul Williams has the ability to cross the ball right-footed or left-footed. He's got pace and good control, and certainly looks the part at the moment.
Yes, he's probably their main threat when he gets in those wide areas. As I said, they're relying on him, and on this side, on the right-hand side, they're relying on Nicky Reed. who really is another central defender. So they have like 4 central defenders in the team. And the supply of crosses that Bob Taylor needs just isn't materialising.
Here goes Collymore again. Single-handed or not up front, he is proving a real handful for all of those Albion defenders. And his goals illuminate the scoreline. West Brom 2 down here. Marden slipped then. It was a great shout of handball from the Forest fans. Didn't impress the referee one bit. The ball delivered in early towards Taylor. Pearce heads it clear. Strudder miskicks his attempted shot. Regan finding Raven. Williams. It's neat football by Albion. They do pass the ball well. A very attractive side. There's got to be something on the end of it.
Yes, you're quite right. I think at times they overpass because it's in areas that's not hurting Nottingham Forest. What they've got to be looking for is to get players in wide areas and keep putting that ball into the box. That's where Forest have problems, in the centre of their defence. They are vulnerable, they do concede goals, but at the moment they look pretty tight because they haven't been pressurised.
Mellon tries to do that with a fairly ambitious long-range shot. And again, Forest defending very deep, right on the edge of their own box, but defending impressively nonetheless. Now Albion have got a lot of men forward here. The referee intervenes. And Reid plays it in. Hunt is onside. And still Hunt. Good work by Cooper. Stone can't get away from Williams. And Bohinen loses out. Williams is there again. Then Hunt is dispossessed, and suddenly Phillips breaks clear for Nottingham Forest. This is where they're looking so dangerous, Forest. They've got 4 forward already. One of them is Bohinen. Well, that was a peculiar ball. Black finding Pearce, and a space opens up here for Pearce. And he obliges by running into it, but didn't really get the shot where he wanted it.
Well, because of the fact that West Brom have been leaking goals, they decided to play with 3 at the back. But really, it doesn't alter any facts, because you can play with 3, you can play with 4. You still have to defend. At the moment, they're just not defending well enough.
Pearce for Nottingham Forest. Knocks it long for Collymore. Here he goes again. The linesman has flagged this time, though, and given a free kick against Collymore. Now, Nottingham Forest have had 6 attempts on target now to West Bromwich Albion's 3, and Forest have those 2 goals to show for their attacking pressure. Although Albion have had an awful lot of the ball. Possession in itself doesn't count unless you can use it effectively, and Forest have looked far more effective. Little. That's a good return ball from Bohinen to Des Little, who then gives it away to Reid. This is Hunt. A long ball by Mellon, cleared by Cooper. It's getting a bit congested in the middle of the field now. And Phillips has given it away. Not long by Strudder. Taylor did well to head it back to Williams. Regan. And Forest just defending in numbers and saying to West Brom, come on, there's the room. What can you do with it? And they can't do much on that occasion. Given away again to Bohinen. And the Norwegian has it back once more. Stone on that right-hand side. Gemmell breaks forward into space, and a good challenge by Strudder. Good tackle that. Regan finding Donovan. And once more, West Brom are wasteful in possession. Marden. This is Strodder. Hits it long for Hunt, running into the channel behind the defenders. But Little quickly across the cover. That's lovely skill though from Hunt. He's a good player, the former Newcastle man, and has done really well here at West Brom. And if he gets a sniff of a chance, he's likely to take it. Well, that looked like a West Brom throw. The linesman could hardly have been any closer. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half here. And Nottingham Forest leading West Brom by 2-0. And deservedly so. Bohinen. It's West Brom's throw again. Mellon. Raven. And he can try again, the big centre half. But Forest are defending so effectively here, it's well nigh impossible for Albion to get in behind them. And then O'Regan loses out. Marden did well to win it back. And this fella still looks like the best route to success for West Brom today, Paul Williams. That's a good cross as well. Taylor almost on the end of it. Crossley caught it safely. Played the first 7 games of the season, Crossley, before the Northern Ireland international Tommy Wright was signed by Forest.
Yes, you can see what he's looking for. He's looking for Bob Taylor there, but just a little bit too deep. And that's a comfortable catch for Crossley.
Crossley's had quiet 10 minutes, so has Collymore. Here's Pearce. He finds Gemmell. Now Pearce. They back away at their peril when Pearce is in possession. Donovan with the interception. It wasn't a good ball, in fact, by Pearce. Cooper. Bohinen just helps it out to Stone. Little in support. And it comes back to Cooper again. Little. That's not a bad ball in behind the defenders again, because Collymore was making it difficult for Raven, and I think he pushed him. Free kick.
I would think it's the easiest 45 minutes Stuart Pearce has had for a long time in the First Division. With West Brom playing nobody on this right-hand side here. Defensively, he's had nothing to do.
Yes, he's been like an auxiliary attacker most of the time. Chettle gets it away under pressure from Bob Taylor. Hunt finding Williams. And that's a Forest throw as Cooper cleared it. It came off the Albion man. But he, in particular, can be satisfied with his first appearance in a West Brom shirt. Bohinen with the header. O'Regan in behind him to win it back for West Brom. Now Mickey Mellon. Raven coming forward. Reed. It's a useful looking ball. Strodder getting in behind the defender and also headed it wide.
This is a strange system really, because that was Strodder there who was pushing forward into the penalty box. There have been times when Raven's gone forward. The only player who hasn't tried to go forward has been Marden.
Well, at the moment, West Brom are making life far too comfortable, far too easy for Nottingham Forest. They're going to go about it with a bit more relish in the second half to make a game of this. Bob Taylor picked up a little injury in the challenge a moment ago, and he's limping inside the Forest half as his fellow striker Hunt is dispossessed by Little. half-time approaching. Well, at least the half-time interval will give Keith Birkinshaw the opportunity to change things round tactically again if he feels the need, and I'm sure he will.
Yes, I've just noticed Keith Birkinshaw just on his way down to the dressing room. He can't wait for the referee to blow the whistle. I would think he's got one or two things to say to his players at half-time.
And half-time has arrived. And the story of the first half here at the Hawthorns was the story of Stan Collymore. 2 quite superbly taken goals to bring his tally for the season to 14 in as many games. And it gives Nottingham Forest the lead which they deserve, really, for their first half performance. The half-time score, West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 2.
Dennis, obviously things going wrong for you at the moment. Besides the scoreline, what is your priority now?
Well, I think we've lost 2 soccer goals, really. We've allowed Collymore to get too much space on us. We had a plan before the game to keep tight to him, but we've allowed him too much room, Gary. The idea now is to go back in and just have a look at the situation. We might have to bring an extra forward on. They didn't play as we thought they might play, so now we're going to have to go in and have a look at our system and their system and work out a different way to play them in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, they played a very different way, haven't they? Only one man up front, but one man more than enough, and we'll be back to have a look at Stan the Man. Stay with us.
We want your business to get more from communications.
Prove it.
Our latest ideas are as close as your BT shop. And remember, your BT account manager's advice is as close as the phone. To find out more, call us now on BT free phone 0800 800 800. BT, we want your business.
Right, Atkins, let's get cracking.
Cracking, JD. Hello, Mrs. D.
Hello.
You Astra Ethos, I see.
All part of JD's economy drive. What with a thingy?
E-Drive, the Astra's most economical petrol engine.
Saves me a fortune. Caviar, champagne, truffles, fresh lobster, venison, smoked salmon.
Ming vase.
Don't be silly, JD, that's mulligatawny soup. The Ming vase is in here.
It's remarkable how much money the Astra Ethos saves you, JD.
He's out there again with his Black & Decker random orbit sander. He says it can tackle the rough jobs, can rip through wood, even metal. Apparently his random orbit sander has dust extraction, can get into tight curves and corners, and go on to give the smoothest finish. It's taking him a while, but I am looking forward to that new sideboard.
The Sun is a Christmas gift for every reader. 6 free cards starring Santa and Rudy. Ouch! With 6 free cards, you get a happier Christmas from the 20p Sun.
Sega TV! To prove that Sega TV is the first ever interactive channel, I want you to all make one wish.
Diamonds! Money, money, money. Washing machine?
This is Mike from Hampshire. I wish I had Sega's Aladdin.
Love the wishes. Thank you.
After 100 years, you can now enjoy John Smith's Draft in a can. It's got a widget for that just served by the landlord taste. So? Oh, I'm not doing this.
What, don't you like the beer?
Well, I like the beer, it's just not my material. It's degrading.
Jack!
I'm sorry, I am not prepared to compromise my hard man of comedy image. I mean, why should I? Widget. It's got a widget. A lovely widget. A widget it has got. Widget.
Riding along in my automobile.
If you use petrol without detergent, this is what can happen to your engine. Carbon builds up, a major cause of poor acceleration, bad starting, and higher fuel consumption. That's why all Shell petrol and diesel has a patented detergent formula. Used regularly, it helps stop carbon building up, giving much better performance.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel.
Use Shell Advanced Petrol.
Kiss at the turn of a mile.
You can tell when it's Shell.
Well, although Forest have only got one man up front, Ron, West Brom seem to have more defenders than they know what to do with.
Yeah, but that often happens. If you get defenders outnumbering strikers, they all go to sleep, they switch off, and that's, to me, that's what's happened with this particular game. I think the Albion back three, if you like, the three centre-halves have all said, all right, Marsden's supposed to be marking him, Strada may be marking him,
Yeah.
and they've just left him. And on the two goals they've scored, they've been caught on the counter for me. They've been caught sleeping, the defence. 4 marks to Collymore. He's done brilliantly once he's received the ball.
Well, let's have a look at the first one, when Strada certainly seemed to be dozing off, didn't he?
Well, Strada's got good possession, and what he's wanting to do is launch a ball, I think, high up the field to maybe his left winger, Williams, who's pushed on a little. Lost possession, Bohemians won it, slipped the ball straight into the space, and from here, Collymore guying for him, scoring goals. Lange will think he's done well there with the first stop, but casually, nonchalantly, if you like, as it comes back to him, just calmly flicks it back as if he's just playing in a training session, like a game of heading
I suppose you
tennis.
could say it was slightly fortunate that it fell so nicely to his left foot.
Yeah, but I mean, if he hadn't been scoring so many goals, he might have flashed at that. He's calm, he's relaxed, and he's just, all right, Sunday morning, if you like, tapped it in.
Would you have given him a price of scoring when he received the ball for that second goal?
I thought at first he did have a good chance, because I think he's particularly dangerous when he's a long way out, when he can run the ball. But I almost thought he'd wasted the chance here. Kingsley Black, I think it is, triggers him off. So when he goes in, yeah, it's Kingsley Black. He triggers him off, puts it into the hole. Now, they've slept. Marsden's gone missing. I think he's on a sortie on the other side of the field. But this is where I think he had his chance to score. I thought, go on, tuck it from there. Now, he's cut back across a defender, and I felt that one of those defenders might just have got a block on him after that. But full marks to him. He's in control of his game.
So nobody was actually picking him up.
They've all looked in, they don't think there's a danger. He's just drifted to the side of the defender in the first place to pick up the pass. And once he's received it, he's gone through once again nonchalantly. But the big thing is there, the confidence of the man. He's scoring goals. And to be fair, he's just playing as if he's just playing out with the kids.
Well, Andy Hunt's scoring goals as well for West Brom, although he didn't quite manage it today, and just what he needed to.
Well, I mean, that was a tremendous effort. I mean, like you say, he's scored any number of goals, 7 goals in the last 10 games or something.
Yes.
But this is good play on his behalf. He's fed it in well. Good turn out of his feet. A little bit fortunate there, but he's gone positively, and he's hit the ball as well as he could hit it. Now, this is where luck plays a part, because normally over the last 2 years, I would bet that Crosley would have put that in the net, because every time Crosley has seemed to make a mistake over the last couple of years, it seemed to have been punished.
Yes.
But I mean, that's how things are going. I mean, the Albion, things aren't happening for them. He's probably entitled to a goal there, and probably even thinks there it's going to go in the net.
It would have. Anyway, 2-0 it is to Nottingham Forest. We'll see what happens in the second half when you rejoin us.
The essence of man, the right man, for me, he must have spirit. Sometimes he's strong, sometimes gentle. Like the sea, I think, a little bit mysterious, but so alive, full of life.
New Brute Aquatonic from Fabergé.
The essence of man.
Hello, Dave. You all right, mate? All right, Dave. You're coming like
Back through time, we have traveled. Searching.
Yep, indeedy.
For the old one. Mo.
Sorry, love. Time.
Time.
We'll come back.
Earlier.
Back through time, we have traveled. Searching.
Endlessly searching.
Throughout evolution, mankind has played the mating game. Why do we long to reproduce when the odds seem so stacked against us? The reason is simple. Having children is the perfect excuse to use Sony's most advanced range of camcorders. Sony, why men really learn to reproduce.
When I was Jack the Lad, shredded wheat helped give me what I needed. But now I'm Jack the Man, my needs are different. I still want bran fiber, no added sugar or salt, and 100% whole wheat. So, shredded wheat's the only one for me. Hey, I like to keep the best players for my team.
Shredded wheat and bite-size too. There is no better cereal.
In continuous tests, Duracell outlasts SP batteries by up to 6 times. Duracell. No ordinary battery looks like it or lasts like it.
That's me. I won't hide the man inside. And I wanna be me till the day that I die.
Micro Groove.
You be you.
For a closer shave.
And I'll be.
The new Philly shave. For the man inside.
Sega TV! To prove that Sega TV is the first ever interactive channel,
I want you to all make one wish.
Diamonds! Let me toy. Money, money. Washing machine.
This is Mike from Hampshire. I wish I had Sega's Aladdin.
Love the wishes. Thank you.
Citroen AX doesn't just give you sparkling performance or just superb road holding. Because right now, a Citroen AX won't cost you anything to insure. No wonder everyone's falling for it. The Citroen AX, now with 1 year's free insurance.
Well, we know for a start that Garner is coming on for Strodder. Albion rethinking their strategy. Is there any way back for them, do you think, Ron?
There's always a way back. I think, okay, that's an extra striker. They've got to be careful they don't clutter up with 3 central strikers. I'd like to see Donovan pull a little bit towards the right, get crosses in from that side of the field, and maybe balance it up. Because at the moment, they're very much one-sided. It's all coming from Williams, and they're a little bit predictable. So I think they've got to get somebody out on the right-hand side, and Donovan looks the logical one, and produce balls into the box.
It's getting a bit desperate for them now, though, isn't it? The pressure, obviously, after the Halifax thing last week. Can they do it?
They can do it. I mean, if that shot of Hunt's goes in, 2-1, they're lifted, they'll have a right go. They need a goal in the first quarter of an hour of the half. If they can get that, they can possibly get home. But they've got to watch Collymore. I would say, Martin, you go man for man, stick with him, play 10 against 10 if you like, and let Raven sweep the rest of the defence up.
OK, straight back to Alan Parry.
So West Brom prepared to get the second half underway. They have, as we expected, made a half-time substitution. Simon Garner has come on for them, and Gary Strodder has gone off. Let's hear what Frank Clark, the Nottingham Forest manager, thinks.
Well, Frank, what a performance from Stan Collymore.
Yeah, he's doing well. It's only half-time, of course, and we've got to make sure that we keep our concentration and keep going.
And Albion, I mean, are they going to come up? Do you think
I'm sure they will, yes. I'm sure they will. People have been winding them up, and we've got to be ready for it, you know. The game's not over yet.
Well, indeed it isn't. Frank Clark has been around in the game long enough to know that although they have an impressive lead, it's by no means a winning lead at this stage. And West Bromwich Albion is certainly capable of scoring goals, and this man in particular is over 200 goals in his league career, Simon Garner, 33 now, moved here from Blackburn Rovers, has had his problems with injuries which have restricted his first team appearances, and he'll want to make the most of this opportunity. Here's Mellon. So basically it looks like they've gone back to a conventional back four here, West Brom. Trevor?
Yes, it looks like they're going to play with 4 at the back, 3 in midfield, and Garner's going to go and play on the right-hand side to make 3 in the front position.
There's O'Regan. Donovan. Hunt to his left. And just dwelt on the ball a little too long. Wasn't a good clearance by Little. It's brought down by O'Regan. And I want to go for Forest's throats as early as they can here at the start of the second half to get a goal and get the crowd behind them. That wasn't a very good ball though by Williams. However, they've done well to win it back with Taylor. And he finds Garner. Knocked in long towards Donovan. And Pearce did so well for Forest then. It was a very important block.
Well, that's his first defensive duty of the game. He certainly did it well. It was a good block. There was a good cross from Garner deep to the far post. And Donovan was lining up the volley.
Corner goes in towards Raven, headed away by Cooper. Collymore touches it away, and Williams is there to win it back again. Reed keeping possession out on that far side, and then they lose out. Donovan dispossessed, but he fights hard to win it back. Clearly, whatever Keith Birkinshaw and Dennis Mortimer said to Albion at half-time is having an immediate effect. They look a lot hungrier. O'Regan and Taylor. Taylor takes over. It's a good effort. Very good goal scorer, Bob Taylor. Got the 100th league goal of his career a couple of weeks ago and has averaged better than a goal every 2 games for West Brom.
Yes, it was good determined play from Taylor. Just comes inside, gets a little bit of space, cracks it with his right foot.
Well, it's the positive start to the second half that we expected and hoped for from West Brom. Hoped for in the sense that they were giving Nottingham Forest a rather comfortable ride in the first 45 minutes. I'm sure the neutrals will want to see Albion make more of a game of this. Here's Raven. Mellon. Garner. And back it goes to Mellon again. That was a bit too ambitious, trying to release Paul Williams down that left-hand side.
Yes, I wouldn't think Williams would be able to get forward as much as he did in the first half. Playing with 5 at the back in the first half, he didn't really have any defensive responsibilities. Of course, this half, playing with a 4, he's got to defend much more.
And the defending starts here as Bohinen slides it forward looking for Stone. Good challenge though by Raven. Phillips wins it back on the halfway line for Forest. Pearce. It's a good ball forward. Black. Bohinen. Oohs and ahs from the Forest fans, but I think that was always travelling off target. Lars Bohinen hasn't scored yet, of course. It's only his second game for Forest. He played in the 3-0 win at Birmingham a couple of weeks ago.
Well, he certainly had plenty of space, didn't he? And his intentions were quite clear. He wanted to hit it from the distance. That's a bit wayward.
Stone heading it back into the Albion half. O'Regan carefully back to his own goalkeeper. Little gets up higher than Taylor. This is Williams. Cooper just made time for himself then, and Forest have the throw. Forest have won only 5 of their 16 league games before today. Their away record shows 2 wins, 2 draws and 4 defeats. They've only won previously at Luton and Birmingham on their travels. They lead 2-0 here. The man who got both the goals is brought down in the centre circle. Free kick. Kingsley Black turns it back again to Pearce. Bohinen. Black. Bohinen making room nicely. This is Black again. Pearce still in support, and they got that wrong between them, Pearce and Black. Bohinen comes to meet the throw and gets it back to Pearce, who lashes one across. Well, that would have been a remarkable goal if Lang hadn't have tipped it over. I'm not sure he was genuinely trying a shot there, but he'll say he was.
No, I think it was a cross, but I think that was going in. Yeah, it was a good save from the keeper.
Well, if Stuart Pearce says it was a shot, I'm not going to argue with him. And the goalkeeper hesitated then and allowed Cooper to come in and win the header. Fortunately for West Brom, it was wide. But Lang thought about coming to try and punch that and then changed his mind.
Yes, here you see the cross or the corner coming in, a straightforward corner, and that's misjudgment by the keeper. Came halfway, decided he couldn't get there. And really, he was caught in no man's land.
Raven miscues his attempted clearance and was rather fortunate that the ball came back to him. He tries to release Garner with a long ball, not a good one, and Little's headed it straight to Taylor. And Pearce is there again with another important interception. And Crossley concedes the corner, and he didn't really need to. Donovan's corner kick, hit long towards Taylor, never quite reached him. Williams heading it back into the danger zone. And miscued clearance this time from Cooper. But Forest have survived, momentarily anyway. Reed turning it back in again towards Hunt. And then Kingsley Black relieves the pressure. This is Marden. Not a room to move forward here. Marden, no challenge on him. And finally Pearce heads away for a West Brom throw-in. Reed. Mellon. Garner. It's a poor layoff, straight to Bohinen. Raven for West Brom. They're still 2 behind here. They badly need a goal to give them life. Here's Williams. Knocks it in long towards Taylor. Good punch clear by Crossley though. Now the ball breaks for Kingsley Black. Marden across to cover and he didn't need to. It's good hard work by Mellon to win things back for West Brom. And the crowd are, for the first time really, getting behind West Bromwich Albion now. They were critical and silent in equal measures during the first half. This is Reed. Leaves it to Mellon. Again, Forest defending with all 11 men inside their own half. Raven. Now Marden. Mellon continues the attack. Tried to release Taylor. It was well read by Pearce. And forward again to Collymore. There's about 5 Albion players and only Collymore, but now support is arriving. And that was a bad ball that
time. Despite the fact that Garner's come on, West Brom still don't have any width on that right-hand side. What you've got is Hunt, Taylor and Garner all wanting to play in a central striking role. They're all tending to run into each other's path, and you know, defenders are getting the ball, West Brom defenders looking to play into wide areas, and the 3 of them are all within like 20 yards radius of each other.
10 minutes gone in the second half. West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 2. And you feel the next goal in this match is going to be crucial. If West Brom get it, it might lead to a bit of a revival for them. However, if Forest get it, it would be impossible to see West Brom coming back from a 3-goal deficit. Having said that, we saw them play in a remarkable match up at Derby County earlier in the season, which ended up in a 5-3 win for Derby, and they're certainly capable of scoring goals, West Brom. They got 88 in 46 league games last season, a total bettered only by Newcastle United in the whole league. This is Raven. Cleared by Little. And then Phillips. Marden. Mellon. The kick goes to Marden. Hunt's found a bit of room. It's a good run by Hunt. Mellon again. The long ball into the box towards Taylor. Cleared by Little. Now Bohinen for Nottingham Forest. Looks up to see where Collymore is, but delivers it to this near side instead. Des Little. Now Stone. It's good running again by Bohinen. He's been impressive today in patches. I think he needs a bit of help here though. And the referee scurries over to give the free kick to Nottingham Forest. The foul by Kieran O'Regan on Bohinen.
Yes, a feature of Bohinen's game this afternoon has been his running off the ball. He's made some good movements, got himself into good situations.
Kingsley Black will deliver this free kick, almost the corner as you can see. And it goes towards Collymore. He's done well again, but then just had it nipped off his toe. Here's Black. Cleared by O'Regan. Phillips finds Black again. And that was a hard challenge by O'Regan on Bohinen, which has left the Forest man on the ground in some pain. Meantime, West Brom get on with it. Nicky Reed. Marden. And Pearce again read the intention as Garner was trying to get in behind him. Hunt tries to keep the pressure on Forest, but it's Pearce in possession once more. And Forest quite comfortably repel that latest raid and win the throw. And then they make about 20 yards down that same touchline. Pearce with the diving header, but possession has gone back to West Brom again. Not really enough happening in the goal mouths, I think, in this match. There's been a lot of pretty football played by West Brom. A lot of pretty effective football played by Nottingham Forest, but the game has been mainly a tale of players stroking it around rather harmlessly in the middle of the field. That's the kind of ball perhaps the crowd would like to see more of. Getting it onto the edge of the penalty area. But on that occasion there was an offside anyway.
Unfortunately, that straight ball is the only ball that's on at the moment for West Brom, because, as I said, you know, them three strikers there all wanting to take central positions. There's absolutely no width at all. You know, Bob Taylor does rely on balls in from wide areas. And he's even lost the effectiveness now of Williams, because he was the one who was supplying them from the left-hand side first half, but he's having to defend more in the second half, and they can't get balls in from either side.
It'll be an interesting test of Paul Williams' defensive capabilities. We know how good he is on the ball. We saw that in the first half. An hour of the game completed here, and it's still West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Stone for Forest. Phillips dispossessed by Taylor. Now Hunt. Garner scurries across and just keeps it in play. Did well. And the cross, very deep. Crossley turns it away. Donovan! That was a chance.
Well, that's what happens when you get crosses in. Great cross from Garner there, deep in the corner. Goes to the back stick. Crossley comes for it. Palms it away to Donovan. And that's a good chance. That's what they've got to do more often. Unless they get those type of balls into the box, you can't really see there's any way back for West Brom.
Here goes Bohinen. Good block. Excellent tackle. Bohinen's still there though. And Raven might have to repeat the feat. He finds Collymore. And Collymore goes down on the edge of the box. And the referee's wave play on. It was outside the area of the challenge, but it didn't matter because the referee Didn't think it was a foul anyway. They think it was a foul. And it was. But good to see two great pros, Pearce and Taylor, just get on with it. Got up straight away, Bob Taylor, shook hands with Pearce. No nonsense, no rolling around. No trying to get a fellow professional in trouble. And no hope for Williams with that ball over his head. Calling players over to give him a chance to find one of them. It was Collymore in particular he was gesticulating towards then.
I'm surprised the referee actually allowed Little to have so much time on the ball with his team 2-0 up. I would think that's a little bit of time wasting that he's got to get a grip of.
Here's Bohinen. Collymore. Little takes over. That's tempting. Pearce pulls it back in. Cleared by Reed. Pearce still in there battling for possession. He'll be disappointed to know the throw's gone the other way. Mellon clears over his own head. Forrest win it back though. Checkle slices the clearance out of play. Only man who's played in every game for Forest in this season when they've had to make so many changes because of injuries. And strangely enough, he's also the only player in the side who was actually born in the city of Nottingham. Goalkeeper lashed at that one a little bit. That's offside though. After the flurry of activity by West Brom at the start of this half, the game's dropped back into a rather quiet and predictable pattern again. Collymore touched that one on for Bohinen.
You get the feeling, don't you, that West Brom are going to get caught forward, pushing forward, and they're going to get caught on the counter-attack. If that was to happen, 3-0, there'd be no way back then for West Brom.
Yes, I'd have to agree. Foul by Little, wasn't it? Yes, Little seemed to take a while making his mind up, but he certainly did haul down Kieran O'Regan. There's Little, sailing in the side from Swansea City. Sees the funny side of it. The referee didn't.
Come on, lad!
And Little gets it clear again. Raven, under no real pressure, knocks it straight to Collymore, who helps it out towards Kingsley Black. Back again to Collymore. Now, can Garner do anything on the break? Williams. Regan takes over. 25 minutes to go. Forest still quite comfortably 2-0 ahead. But a goal by West Brom would change things, I'm sure. Can Mellon provide it with that run? No, he can't, and he doesn't get the free kick he was hoping for either. Bohinen looks to hit Collymore again. It's a fine long ball by the Norwegian. Marden, the covering player. Collymore went inside him, but it was good work by Nicky Reed to get back and help out his teammate then.
Yes, good play from Forest. Intelligent play from Bohinen and Collymore. Good ball into the space behind Marden. That's the ball that Collymore wants.
shows where he wants it again. Certainly doesn't lack self-confidence, Stan Collymore. Thinks he can do it all himself, and he's proved that he can. What can Hunt do for West Brom? Williams with the cross. Could have been dangerous, still could be. Now Black gets it clear. And as far as Mellon, though. And Mellon sees a space and moves into it. Pierce across to cover. And he's done well there. Garner getting up, and it's cleared in the nick of time by Chettle. Corner then to West Brom, and what they desperately need now is the inspiration of a goal. Paul Raven, the centre-half, has come forward for the kick. Goes in towards Hunt, and was never allowed to reach him as Stone got it clear.
I don't know if you noticed that, Alan, but they've got a corner there with, what, 25 minutes left. They're 2-0 down. And all they put in the box was 3 players.
Yes, you would think now's the time to abandon any caution, really. Midway through the second half, and there's still 2 goals adrift. Collymore, he did well then, Collymore. Bohemian finds Phillips in the middle. He's got Stone ahead of him and finds him. Steve Stone with a great chance here, but the offside flag has been raised. He didn't find the target anyway. Give him the benefit of the doubt and pretend that he heard the whistle.
This is a urgent message for Mark Cherie. Mr. Mark Cherie, please report to the ambulance room and the rear of the
lovely ball by Phillips, but Stone was just offside, I think.
Yes, just a little bit over anxious there. If he could just have held his run a little bit, there was so much space for him to go into.
Collymore receiving a bit of treatment from Graham Lyas, the Forest physio. He certainly won't want to come off, I promise you that. He's a man who lives on goals, and he'll want to try and complete his hat-trick if he can here. The attendance today, incidentally, 15,500. Well-supported club, West Bromwich Albion. And considering all their ills of the moment, with 8 defeats in their last 11 games and only 2 wins in the last 14, that's a healthy sized crowd.
Yes, on a bitterly cold afternoon.
Yeah, and in fact that's the biggest Ensley First Division crowd of the entire weekend. Here's Mellon. Great run there by Reed down the right hand side, and it was spotted by Chettle. Throw goes into Hunt. No room for him to turn. And the cross was far too long. Little.
Once again, there's another situation when the ball's played into the box. And I counted 8 West Brom players outside the penalty box. It's got to be more of a desire to score a goal. You're not going to get too many goals outside the penalty box.
20 minutes to go. And Forest in command here with their 2-0 lead. It's been a disappointing half, this one. Marden knocking it long towards Garner. And that's a Forest throw, no problem. I think West Brom are about to make a substitution. Cheers from the crowd as Roy Hunter will replace Kevin Donovan. Play in midfield or defence. Obviously we're going to midfield as a straight-for-straight swap for Donovan, who's had a disappointing day and arguably missed one of the best chances that Albion have created. about 25 minutes, which is about what you had, I think, yesterday for Sheffield Wednesday, Trevor, wasn't it?
Yes, it certainly was, and I'm sure you'll be feeling better tomorrow than what I do today.
A bit younger than you, isn't he? Just a bit. Bohinen. And Raven turns it back to his goalkeeper. No pressure coming in from Collymore, so he can roll it out. Launches it forward. Bohinen knocks it back in, and Collymore was just gently jogging back to the halfway line and was miles offside. Good header on, and Hunter, the substitute, almost burst onto that one from Taylor. This is Raven. Again, Forrest just back away. Williams. Regan. Here's Garner. Regan again. And they're just going sideways, crab-like, not forward. That's a better ball. Hunt on the edge of the box. And he was backing in, was the decision of the referee there. The Albion fans rather optimistically were screaming for a penalty.
It's a definite reluctance to put that ball in the penalty box. All strikers would tell you that ball must come in early. I think West Brom over-elaborate at times, perhaps one or two passes too many. It needs to come in much earlier to give the strikers any chance at all.
Here's Raven. A long one for Hunter and Hunt. Raven. Here's Marden. Raiden again. That's a good ball. Garner has stolen in behind the right back this time. And although it took an unpleasant deflection in front of the goalkeeper, there was no real threat on that ball in either. And you have to say that sadly West Brom just don't look capable of causing Forest problems. Reed knocks it back into the Forest half, and then there was a foul by Cooper on Hunter, right under the referee's nose, so to speak. O'Regan. Ball for Hunt. Screws it across towards Taylor. He did well to get a shot in, really, from that distance with his back to goal, but it was never really going to trouble Crossley. Pearce knocks it long. And the second half has largely been a story of Forest just sitting with 10, 11 men at times back behind the ball. West Brom having oceans of possession, but not really doing enough with it to trouble Nottingham Forest seriously at the back. It's not made for a great spectacle, in all honesty, this second half. Trevor?
No, you're right. I think that it's been a comfortable afternoon for Nottingham Forest defence. They've not really been put under any pressure at all. One or two crosses in the second half. Found Crossley a little bit uncomfortable, but apart from that, there hasn't been a major threat.
Forest, of course, 16 years at the top level of the game, twice European champions, league champions, 6 Wembley finals they reached, and they want to get back into the Premiership just as quickly as they can, but they have found already in the first 3 months of this new season that the First Division is a very competitive division, and certainly with all the Midlands derbies as well, that makes it even more so in this area, and they're going to need a very consistent run for the rest of the season to edge their way into the promotion picture. Here goes Collymore, no, beaten to it this time by Raven. Garner. Williams. Given away to Bohinen. Now Marden. Raven opts to hit it long, again looking for Garner, who's now occupying almost an outside left position here. It's rather like the away leg of a cup tie, this. Forest are just sitting back on their 2-goal lead, and Albion simply do not have enough ideas in their locker to get in behind them. Even Collymore has gone quiet now. I would have thought he was keen to get that third goal to complete the hat-trick. I'm sure he is. But he's ambled through this second half. Lang gets it clear. Cooper will be beaten to it in the air as it happens, but was fouled by the substitute Hunter, so Nottingham Forest get the free kick.
Yes, I'm sure if you spoke to Collymore, though, he'll say that he's done his job. 2 splendid goals in that first half.
Yes, and he has been a lone figure, in fairness to him, up front in this half. There haven't been too many breaks by the midfield players into attacking positions. They've just been content to defend, basically, Nottingham Forest, and who can blame them for that? I think the real disappointments in this game have been the home side, really, for not making more of a match of it. And there's a pretty poor ball by Raven, straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Regan, back again to Lang. Over Taylor's head, Little gets it clear, only as far though as Taylor. Now Garner again. There's a wild challenge by Cooper on Garner. And the crowd angry because for once West Brom had the ball in a good position and the referee's whistle went. And he brought them back for a free kick that they didn't really want at that stage. Regan takes the free kick. Headed away by Collymore. Williams under pressure here from Stone. Still finds Garner. And Garner's done well to get inside Little, and that's not a bad ball, and Pierce with a vital clearance back into the danger area, and the linesman has flagged. There was an offside. Andy Hunt had strayed too far forward, but Pierce has made 2 or 3 really important interceptions for Nottingham Forest today, and that was another of them. We'll have 10 minutes remaining at the Hawthorns on this cold November afternoon, and it's still West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 2. And the man who got both the goals, Stan Collymore. There haven't been too many goal-scoring chances since half-time, it's fair to say. Perhaps this is one coming up here for Hunter, and now for Hunt. Good challenge, very good tackle by Chettle. Well, in fact, it was Cooper who made the sliding tackle on Hunt.
Get on this side, Stan! This side! Elliot!
Collymore beaten to it this time by Marden, but it's still a brace for Black. And Bohinen's gone in behind the line of defenders. Reed across to cover, and that's, I think, the corner.
Yes, that's the type of intelligent runs that Bohinen's made all afternoon. He's needed to, because obviously with Collymore playing just by himself, he needs as much support as possible. And it seems to have come more so from the Norwegian than anyone else. Been impressive this afternoon, Alan. He's done well.
Yes, and there's a lot of competition for those central midfield places at Forest. Neil Webb only a substitute today. Pearce. Black. Gemmell sliding it into Phillips. Phillips got the pass wrong on that occasion. O'Regan. Williams almost in trouble there as Bohinen closed him down. Now O'Regan. Easy clearance again for Cooper. But it's been an impressive, if unexciting, display this by Nottingham Forest. And never really at any stage had the points, all three of them, looked in any danger for them. Not from the moment anyway, when Collymore shot them into the lead early on in the first half. A lot of fans already beginning to leave the Hawthorns. There's a great deal of dissatisfaction in the air you can sense here. To be fair to Keith Birkinshaw and say that he has had an awful lot of problems with key players being out injured and 2 players suspended today. It doesn't always pacify long-suffering supporters when the manager quite rightly and justifiably makes excuses about injuries. And already the glories of last season for West Brom, a receding memory for some of those disgruntled supporters on the terraces. Seven minutes to go, and almost from the early minutes of the half here, Frank Clark's team seem to be strolling towards victory. Collymore helps it forward to Pearce. And Pearce gets it on the left foot. Great save. First bit of excitement for minutes on end, that. Did well there, Tony Lang. Pearce hits them as hard as anyone.
Yes, good play between Collymore and Pearce. Gets it onto his favourite left foot. Bang. Good save.
Forest keep possession from the corner. Stone. Now Bohinen. Threads it through to Little, who's dispossessed by Taylor. Raven with a long ball, not a good one. It's been a strangely lifeless performance by West Brom at the moment then that Raven knocked that one into the crowd. About another 3 dozen people just in front of us in the stand decided enough's enough, and they're on their way home for a cup of hot tea. Forest have just done enough really in this second half, and that's all they've needed to do. O'Regan finds Hunt. Can West Brom pull a late goal out of the fire here to at least give us some drama at the finish? They have less than 5 minutes in which to do something, and they trail by 2-0. Hunt gets it back to Williams, and the cross knocked away by Little. Hunt. And that's a poor ball. Forest throw, and an opportunity now to nominate the man of the match. Trevor Francis, not much doubt in your mind.
No, there can only be one winner. There's been quite a few good performances from Nottingham Forest, but this man's been the match winner. He's won the game for Forest, Stan Collymore.
Yes, he just did enough on those 2 occasions, the only 2 occasions he's really had the chances in this game, and he put them both away. Not a bad ratio, is it? And West Brom have won a throw-in. There's still no real vim and vigour about their performance. They're just going through the motions at the moment. Mellon finds Hunt. Now can Hunt bring things to life here? Taylor and O'Regan. Stone just dispossessed him. Taylor's there again, forced to try a shot from way outside the box, and that's the way it's gone really for West Bromwich Albion today. Raven, room to move forward here and find Williams. That's a poor ball, and Forrest again counter-attack swiftly with Little and Stone. This is Phillips. Phillips continues his run down the right-hand side, and Stone finds him. He looks for Bohinen in the box, and it comes back again to Phillips. And he swings the cross in, but no one on the end of it in a Forest shirt.
It wasn't a bad ball either. I was surprised that Collymore never reacted to that. Phillips was a bit disappointed too, because it looked as if it was a poor ball, but in fact it was an intelligent ball from Phillips.
It was. He's got plenty to celebrate anyway this weekend. I'm sure his wife Jeanette is watching. Congratulations on the birth of the latest Phillips Jr., Aaron, born just yesterday. And Dad will be going home with a win bonus with a new youngster. That much is certain, I think, now. Only 2 minutes to go, and frankly, Albion look as though they've thrown the towel in. Raven knocking it long onto Taylor's chest. O'Regan plays it back in then towards Hunt. Cleared by Chettle. Gemmell just guides it out to Black. And now Pearce. Black's there again for Forest. Collymore up in support. He had to play it back though to Pearce this time. Mickey Reed's clearance. And Forest's throw. Well, the Nottingham Forest supporters have had a cold but satisfying afternoon behind the goal, and now they applaud Trevor Francis's choice of Stan Collymore as man of the match. Steve Stone. Little. The cross goes in towards Bohinen. Good effort against the crossbar, and the rebound fell very invitingly indeed for Kingsley Black, but he could only stab it wide. Great effort by Bohinen. And that could well have been the Norwegian international's first goal as a Forest player.
Yes, it wasn't a great cross from Little, but that's good skill there from Bohinen. On his chest, volley onto the crossbar.
Well, they can't all be classics, and this certainly hasn't been one, but it's a good professional job, well done by Nottingham Forest. As we move now into stoppage time. Pearce with a good ball forward. Bohinen suddenly has a spring in his step again after coming so close to a goal then, and he's won a throw in here for Nottingham Forest, which will be enough to keep the ball in the Albion half and edge Forest towards those very important 3 points. And who knows, still time for a flurry at the finish perhaps. But Phillips has given it away. O'Regan finding Garner. Williams. Oh, he was surely being held there, wasn't he, by Stone? Indeed he was. Albion's free kick. They've got to get on with it. Not going to be enough time anyway to make any difference to the outcome of this match. Regan lifts it in, and good goalkeeping by Crossley. This is Hunter, the substitute. Garner, and cleared by Cooper, going as far as Williams. Regan now pumps it into the box once more. They just haven't done enough of that today. Mellon. And Pierce has, I think, given away a free kick there, yes. Just pause for a moment because I thought it might have been inside rather than outside the penalty area. But a free kick it is, not a penalty kick. So time for a bit of late excitement perhaps from West Bromwich Albion's point of view. Hunt and Mellon, the two players on the ball. And it's Hunt who drives it in through the wall and finally cleared by man of the match, Stan Collymore. And that's it. It's all over. A disappointing afternoon for the West Bromwich Albion fans. Not for these Forest supporters, though, who applaud the professional nature of their team's performance here today, and in particular the flair and exciting goal-scoring skills of Stan Collymore. His two goals gave Nottingham Forest victory. The final score of the Hawthorns this afternoon: West Bromwich Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 2.
Stan, you're really on a goal run now. You seem to have too much speed for these defences.
Yeah, they've been getting great quality this season from the lads, and shut up. And you know, if we keep giving me the service, hopefully I'll get on the end of them.
Forest really in control of that match.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come out Albion second half and maybe do a little bit more, but they didn't. You know, we kept the game, the tempo a bit slower second half, and come away with a victory.
I don't know whether your team are going to be satisfied with you just scoring first half goals. The bench were giving you some tremendous stick in the second half.
I know they stuck me up front on my own second half and expected me to mark 4 players, but you know, hopefully get a few more goals.
Well, you're the man of the match, and here's Mike Naylor from the sponsors to give you that award.
Well done. Hello, Mon.
He's a lad, isn't he? A bit slow to get going at the start of the season, but my goodness, he's certainly motoring now. We'll be back to have a look at his performance in a moment.
East Midlands Electricity has a vast range of home entertainment products at guaranteed unbeatable prices. With interest-free credit on selected top brands, or buy now, pay May. We've loads of free gifts and special offers, and free delivery until Christmas Eve. And East Midlands Electricity has an extensive range of Sega, Nintendo, consoles and games. So if you want home entertainment, we're unbeatable.
Philips invents the compact disc, and music enters the digital age. Now Philips invents the compact disc interactive, and the digital age comes to video entertainment with interactive games, information, entertainment and films, all with pure digital sound and stunning video images. Philips invents CDI, the ultimate machine for compact discs and amazing pictures. Philips invents for you.
You've eaten it, haven't you?
What?
The chocolate.
What chocolate?
You know very well I had a bar.
What bar?
I had a bar of Cadbury's Dairy Milk in the fridge.
What fridge?
Cadbury's Dairy Milk.
Scaled it, jumped it, skied it, surfed it. Rode it, dove it, flew it, crashed it. Never slammed it, never guzzled it.
New Pepsi Max. Maximum cola taste and no sugar.
Did it, dug it, savored it, relished it.
Live life to the max. New Pepsi Max.
Right, the coast should be clear by now.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Oh, crikey, what's happened here? Where's Mike? Oh, so did the Street Fighter 2 Turbo characters turn up for the interview then? I see you're going to show off the new moves then. Great. That'll be their special combat speed. But did anyone experience their new fireball capability? Oh, well, that works then, eh? Well, if I'd known you were having this much fun, I'd never have hidden in the lavvies and pretended to be late.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo, intimidating invincible Nintendo.
Ah, those magnificent Victorians, in constant pursuit of a supreme innovation. Ever striving for the one truly great idea that would immortalize their names forever. Men like the legendary John Marston.
John who?
Good old John Marston, a great Victorian bloke, he brought us Marstons, the finest ale from Castle Oak. Brewed the Brampton Union way up until the present day, and pedigrees his finest brew in all the land.
Thank heavens, some things are what they used to be.
1,000 Christmas trees to be won this week, plus a free book of discount shopping vouchers. Where? The Evening Mail. It's a Christmas cracker.
Welcome back. Forest on a bit of a roll at the moment. Stan Collimore's got his champagne, and Frank Clark has got his 3 points. He's also got Gary Newbomb.
Yeah, no champagne for you, I'm afraid. He went to Stan Collymore, but he deserved it on the first half display.
Oh yes, I mean his performance in the first half was outstanding. He scored 2 outstanding goals, and that enabled us to dictate the rest of the game.
Were you satisfied with that, just sitting on a 2-0 lead? I mean, the result's right. What about the performance?
Well, we defended very well, and the players stuck to the game plan, which is good. And I don't think they really had a clear-cut chance other than the one that hit the post. I thought we could have made better use of our possession in the second half. We sat back perhaps a little too much and just said, well, have the ball back and come and try again. And I would have liked to have seen us to be a bit more positive and enterprising in the second half. But other than that, a good performance.
OK, thank you very much. You're moving up the table at last. Well done, Frank. You're on a good run at the moment. Thank you.
Thanks, Guy. Thank you.
Sounds a bit harsh, but a curiously spineless performance by Albion. They only had 7 goal attempts.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when a team is struggling. I mean, they looked as if they were inhibited.
Yeah.
People were afraid to try anything or to run forward. The lad Hunt looked a little bit bright up front, but he was really the only spark. Garner gave them a little bit when he came on.
Yes.
But there was no real invention from him, I didn't think, today.
The only effort of note in that second half was Donovan's effort.
Yeah, I mean, and that was built up by Garner. Did particularly well for in the wide position. I mean, he's dug out a great cross here. He does very, very well here. I mean, his little old legs are pumping there. You know, he's knocking on a little bit, but he's dug that right to the far post. I actually thought the keeper's made a rick here. I thought he should have been helping it towards the corner flag. He's helped it down into the danger zone. And that wasn't as easy a chance as people would say. I mean, he's had to control it very quickly. There's people gathering on him. He's leaned back a little bit and slammed it over the bar. The only thing it was their only real sighting of goal in the second half. I mean, Frank's just said that they haven't, he was a bit disappointed with them in the second half in terms of production. But they still had the 2 best chances, didn't they?
They did. Let's have a look at those. One of them, of course, came from a man who had a nightmare on Wednesday, as we know.
Well, I mean, he had a nightmare first 8 seconds, let's be fair. I mean, Collimore's turn provider there, shoved it in, and that's where Pearce loves. He loves those surging runs. That's him at his best. Gets a little deflection, which doesn't help the keeper's cause, but that's not the worst save the Lands will make this season.
And then Lars Bohinen, who I think is going to turn out to be a real bargain.
I actually thought he might have run Collymore close for the man of the match award. It's a good ball in from the right fullback little. Bit fortunate with the deflection. I think it was off O'Regan. But good chest control, good composure. He's hit the back of the ball well, and he's probably thought he's entitled to a goal with that.
All decided in the first half, as we know, by Stan Collymore. Let's just remind ourselves of those 2 goals. Both well taken in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, he'll enjoy them because from his point of view, they're what he's good at, good individual goals. I mean, that's all come from an error from Stroder, but first of all, keeper's done well. Seen it off, and then there he is, nonchalant, casual, everyday occurs.
Yeah.
Just lobs it back off his left side into the net.
He's a cool cookie, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that might be his strength, actually, that probably doesn't worry him missing chances. I mean, he's been given too much room here, far too much room. Delayed his chance there, good composure, and he's just tucked it again. If Keith Bergenshaw looks at that, 3 defenders round him, nobody ready to snap him in half. He's had a free run from the halfway line virtually.
Well, if any club had bought him last season, Forest might still be in the Premiership, who knows. Anyway, we'll be back with our Saturday feature match and all the other goals from yesterday.
Auntie's terribly modern, so we've invested in the latest Panasonic gown. Super flat screen. You can watch it from almost any angle. Self-adjusting digital picture. So, now you don't see it. Now you do. Auntie, it's time for Red Hot and Ragdoll.
Hello? Oh, Alex. I'm at the British Gas showroom. Yes, there's so much to look at here. Central heating, tumble dryers, lovely fires. I'm looking at a rather attractive cooker at the moment. The sales assistants are amazingly friendly. Come to look round. What now? There's no need. They've got a catalogue. I'll bring one with me. Don't you just love being in control?
For your new copy, free phone 0800 850 900 or visit your gas showroom.
This week in the Mirror, played a new family game, Aladdin. Win £10,000 every day. Trips to Euro Disney and tickets to see Aladdin. You'll be surprised when you look in the mirror.
Select a quality paving slab and slice neatly. Next, prepare some bare metal. Meanwhile, chase out some masonry. Cut a steel girder, a tile, some piping, and sand a plank of wood. There, a piece of cake. The variable speed angle grinder from Black & Decker. Perfect for kitchens, bathrooms, patios.
After 100 years, you can now enjoy John Smith's Draft in a can. It's got a widget for that just served by the landlord taste. So? Oh, I'm not doing this.
What, don't you like the beer?
Well, I like the beer, it's just not my material. It's degrading.
Jack!
I'm sorry, I am not prepared to compromise my hard man of comedy image. I mean, why should I? Widget. It's got a widget. A lovely widget. A widget it has got. Widget.
New from Ford. Another great way to make car buying easier. Escort LX hatchbacks, saloons or estates, all one price. Diesels or turbo diesels, 1.4s or responsive 16-valve 1.6s and 1.8s, all one price. That's right, one price. The price of the 5-door 1.4. So without paying a penny more, you can select the body style and engine that suits your needs, not just your wallet. Maximum choice at one price. It's another breakthrough from Ford. For full details, call 0800 111 222 or visit your Ford dealer.
Sega TV! To prove that Sega TV is the first ever interactive channel, I want you to all make one wish.
Diamonds!
Happy toy.
Money, money.
Washing machine.
This is Mike from Hampshire. I wish I had Sega's Aladdin.
Love the wishes. Thank you.
Well, our Saturday feature game comes from Filbert Street, Leicester City against Oxford United. Now, Leicester hadn't lost at home for 10 months. Oxford have only won one away game all season. But as we know, the First Division is no respecter of form. Our commentator is Alan Parry.
Well, Leicester glad to be back at Filbert Street again. 4 of their last 5 games have been away from home, including last week's defeat at Stoke, where they conceded their first goal in 5 league games. Oxford feel the same team which beat Derby last week. That was only their second win in the last 14 games. They haven't won away this season, and Leicester are unbeaten at home. Speedy. Gets it back to Whitlow. A call for the early cross. And he finds Mills. That's a good ball. Oldfield! Good save by Whitehead. Oldfield stealing forward in typical fashion. Clearance by Elliott. Now Speedy finding Joachim. Elliott trying to hold him off. And he's dived in rather. And that's a great pullback to Speedy. Well, you would really have put money on Leicester's leading scorer getting a goal here. Lovely cross from Joachim. Speedy beats the two defenders, but wraps his shot against the post. Byrne, straight to Whitlow. Gavin Ward making sure he gets it on his left foot, but that's a terrible ball. Straight to Cusack. A wild effort by Cusack. Mills. That's a great ball. Joachim. He's certainly got the pace to get round Elliott here. And the referee's given a penalty. Well, it looked a rather harsh decision at first, I have to say. Joachim round the big defender, but Elliott certainly used a hand, and the referee was right. So Thompson, who scored in the corresponding game here last season, and does so again from the spot to give Leicester City the lead. 3 minutes to half-time. Magilton. Cusack. And Magilton again. This is Rogan. That's a great ball by Rogan. Cusack's header, yes! The equaliser. And Nicky Cusack, who started his career at Leicester City, has returned to his old ground with a fine-headed goal to bring Oxford level. 47 minutes gone. Whitlow's clearance. Magilton gets it back again to Byrne. That's a good ball. Allen, fine shot, and cleared away almost off his own line there by Colin Hill. Magilton with the corner. Came off the defender and forced home by Rogan. Quick thinking by Anton Rogan, and incredibly here, Oxford United are in front. 62 minutes gone. The ball seemed to come off the defender, and Rogan reacted quickest of all. Thompson steps over the free kick. Philpott! Tremendous save by Whitehead from Lee Philpott. A beautifully struck free kick here, and the goalkeeper saw it coming late. Thompson. Now Mills. It's a good-looking ball, and Whitehead's dropped it. Oldfield forcing it back, and Whitlow's shot goes in. The equaliser, Mike Whitlow. Well, Mills started the panic here. Whitehead has to take the blame for losing the ball, but I'm certain that Whitlow's shot was deflected en route to goal. Mills. And Smith's header cleared away by Whitehead. Allen. Here's Dyer, the substitute, who's only just come on. Allen again. He's done well. Dyer. Oh, that's lovely control from Dyer. And he scored. 3 minutes to go, and the substitute, who's been on the field for less than a minute, might well have got the winning goal here. And Leicester City's unbeaten home record has surely been ended by a goal that will give Oxford their first away win of the season. Alex Dyer, an inspired substitute. Well, time running out for Leicester to snatch something here. Whitlow. Thompson. This is Grayson. It's a good-looking ball. And it comes to Smith. Well, the other substitute had a marvellous opportunity there to bring the teams level, but unlike Dyer at the other end, the Leicester number 14 couldn't find the target.
Well, Ron, we've seen one of your old teams lose this afternoon, but Oxford with 2 great wins in succession now.
Yeah, I mean, smashing after last week, beating Derby, and they're winning against Leicester yesterday, against 2 of the biggest. I mean, that's great for them.
Do you still feel fondly about Oxford?
Oh, very much so, yeah. It's one of the results we look for. We had a great time, and it's one of the clubs that I think the world of.
I should hate to see them go down, and the way they're playing at the moment, they won't.
Well, I mean, they flirted with relegation the last couple of years, and they've managed to stay up, and they'll probably do it again. They'll stay up this year, I would think.
Yeah, let's hope so. But let's move on now to the rest of yesterday's goals in the First Division of the Ensley League. We start at Derby. Vultures had been gathering around the baseball ground after 2 successive defeats, but Craig Short scattered them when he cleared the low cloud. As so often in the nervous old days last season, Derby had the chance to put the game beyond reach. Kitson was grateful to be bought because he seemed to be heading nowhere in particular. Pembridge did what was expected of him, but as I've said often before, Derby are more vulnerable with a 2-goal lead than almost anyone I know, and how it showed. Gabbiadini had 3 goes at dispossessing Gilbert. He never quite pulled it off, but he did present Grimsby with a penalty, and Derby, with a jittery second half, they thankfully survived. Stoke City went to pieces though, but what a return to action for Dave Robinson, scoring with this over-the-shoulder uppercut. County's replacement for Short has been out of commission for 14 months. Mark Prudo, who made that match-winning save against Leicester last week, slipped off his pedestal and Turner ran in the loose ball. County's home record is quite stunning. Good job as well. I said a couple of weeks ago, watch out for Portsmouth. Birmingham tried their best, but it wasn't good enough with McLaughlin and Walsh orchestrating the show. Miller in the Blues goal had covered himself in glory, but what could the poor chap do here? Terrific finish by Stimson, and even he was dumbstruck. Consistency is only just creeping into the First Division dictionary this season. No sign of a Newcastle, but Charlton are the closest thing to it. Robinson and Nelson combine for a little classic, which leaves Peterborough bottom of the table. Do you need reminding what a 9-second goal looks like? Stuart Pearce doesn't. Armstrong of Palace demonstrated you've got to be on your toes right from the off. Might have demoralised Viv Anderson's struggling troops, but Redfern came swooping in for as good an equaliser as you'll see. Palace were dreaming again. Greavesy has this theory that they're a warm weather team, but Williams was determined to give the lie to that. Brave header to restore the lead, and then a positively balletic one to kill Barnsley off when Gordon managed to squeeze in his cross. Millwall are a funny side, but then so are Tranmere, second from the top, and yet thoroughly put in their place at the new Den. The Australian international Mitchell unhinged them with this. And Goodman must have felt like Moses when the waves parted before him. "Be our guest," said Tranmere. "Oh, you're so kind." And that was only the half of it. Nixon in the Tranmere goal made life impossible for his team by passing to Kennedy, failing to recover in time to hold on to the shot, and hitting the deck again as it became 3-0. Since Millwall have been struggling to hold a mid-table position, it makes you wonder why a team with promotion ambitions made such heavy weather of it. They didn't have Aldridge, it's true, and Jones' tidy little consolation wasn't really a consolation at all. What a pleasure it must be to have 11 men on the field and keep them. Watford were loving numerical parity, and Dyer gave Solomon a chance he couldn't refuse. They looked good against one of the First Division's most improved outfits, but as they were always likely to do, City snapped back through Martin with a quarter of an hour to go. Whoosh. Well, one more game to complete the weekend picture. Middlesbrough get that right in a minute. Middlesbrough against Bolton at Ayresome Park this afternoon. The commentators on the highlights are Roger Thames and Big Jack Charlton.
Knocked back by McAteer. Coyle can turn and face goal. That one off the upright there by Seagraves. Here come Bolton again, and a good turn by McGinley, and it's not going to be easy for goalkeepers. McGinley, 13 goals this season, and Pears, it's going to be difficult to handle cleanly in this. Still there under pressure, and McGinley, and that's a goal for Bolton. John McGinley gives Bolton the lead, 10 minutes to go. Rio Cantod not giving too much away, but perhaps it was Barry giving too much away there.
Yeah, giving far too much away. There was far too much room and time for them to settle and look. And Lambert here should be a bit closer to the player who's crossing the ball, and he allows him a cross in. And McGinley, who's probably been the best player on the park up to now, actually, he's the threat all the time down the right-hand side. Gets a nice header in near post. Stevens, no chance at all.
Right, well that's how the bottom half of the table looks. Nottingham Forest picking up 3 points today. They're in fact 5 places off the playoff place. West Brom not looking quite so clever. At the top, it's still Derby and Leicester leading the Midlands Challenge. Stoke not too far behind them, and Wolverhampton tucked in there in 11th place. Ron, who do you fancy for the First Division title? Any of the Midlands clubs?
Yeah, I actually fancied Derby and Wolves from the off. When I saw them in the game 2 weeks ago at the baseball ground, Derby, they've picked up a lot of points. Still think they've got a lot of problems defensively. For a side of the calibre they should be. Wolves, I must say, on the day looked very, very impressive. But they could do with converting a few of those drawn games into wins, couldn't they?
Yes.
If they can do that, I could see them surging right through. Forest could get themselves somewhere close now. That's a big result for them today.
I think so.
Yeah.
Good win for you yesterday, or at least you won. I don't know about a good win.
We won. We won. The least said about it. Well, second half we played okay, to be fair. First half, we really didn't turn up.
You're in second place, though. Is there any hope, do you think, of Manchester United cracking up and you catching up with them?
Well, they could get complacent.
Yeah. It's happened before.
We've got to live on that hope. No, we've just got... I said to somebody last night, we're right at their heels now. We're snapping at them. They must be... You know, the tension must be unbearable with us right there, 11 points behind. But
yeah.
You never know, do you?
My 11 points isn't as bad as it sounds, is it? And now you're out of Europe as well.
It is if you haven't got them.
Well, yes, yeah. But it's only 3 games and a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the big one, I think, if we keep going par for par, obviously the big game at Old Trafford in 2 or 3 weeks' time, that's going to have a big bearing.
And you get your revenge then, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be, but, you know, they are playing very well. In all fairness, and they've played ever so well this season.
You're winning one, you're not playing at your best, and that's
we think we've got a lot more to come yet.
Right, so have we. More football on Central on Wednesday night at 10:40 as we begin coverage of the Champions League. 4 top games from Europe with Anderlecht against AC Milan, the main feature. And then on Saturday at 5 o'clock it's goals extra with the first of the action from the Ensley League. And the Central match live next Sunday comes from Meadow Lane, Notts County against Oxford. Join us at 2:50 for that. In the meantime, well played, Stan Collymore. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Central Match Live. Sponsored by Everards, brewers of Tiger Best Bitter.